Good morning, everybody. I am Pam Myers with Pam Myers Social Media, and we are here with Conversations with Jane, our podcast that streams live on Facebook every Thursday at 10:30. Jane C. Phillips, you can find her on her website, and Jane is a psychic medium, a medical intuitive, and a paranormal investigator. And we look forward to having this conversation with you, Jane. Good morning.
Good morning, and glad to be back, and welcome everybody. 10:30 is Mountain Time, so if you're looking at me at a different time zone, just make your adjustments. For every Thursday, Pam and I are going to be having a relevant conversation, and it might be stories about my work as doing the paranormal work or as a medical intuitive. But sometimes, like today, we might be talking about current events, which is, this has been a busy week, and I wanted to have a little back and forth conversation with Pam about this. So as you're listening in, you may be one of those people that has been having really deep dreams, maybe even disturbing ones over the last couple of weeks. This week has been kind of wild because of yesterday's events with the Senate and certifying the election and all of that sort of thing. So you might be getting caught up in something what I call mass consciousness, which is if you are more prone to be empathic, you can feel things. There's a lot of stuff out there, and so it's affecting us. It's affecting me. And so I want you to be aware that you're not alone. So if you've been having a crazy few weeks, it's not unique to you. It's lots of different things. Some of it is mass consciousness. I wanted to talk about that, where our energy fields actually pick up the thinking around the planet. Mm-hmm. And if you're watching anything on the news, you might be picking some of that up also. And it affects your energy field. So it can create anxiety and stress and tap into traumas that you've had. So I want you to be aware that mass consciousness is I call it stinking thinking, but it's not all. The stuff that's non-supportive isn't really good for us. And so I tell people and I teach people how to just ask that the energies that work with you to neutralize mass consciousness, the effects on you. And I can't guarantee it'll work, but it at least gives you some awareness of something you can do. And I want to comment about dreams a little bit too, because I've had to call friends of mine who do similar work to me to find out what's going on, because especially this week, it's been really bizarre, deep dreams. Mm-hmm. And what we've sort of come to our conclusion is that the bizarre combination of things that are coming up are deep-seated emotions and events and traumas that we've had that are finally ready to be released. And so it isn't fun. However, that seems to be what's going on with many, many people. They're having these traumas or these just bizarre dreams, and they're waking up really unsettled. So while I can't tell you exactly what to do on a 10-minute blog, I want you to know that those things that are coming up for you, at least do some journaling about it to be aware. And there are things that I do to help people release these stuck things that are coming up for release. And so my website's down there for that. But journal about it and see what things that are coming up for you that maybe are deep-seated and you're ready to let go of. And it'll be unique to each of us. But I'm finding that's another component besides the mass consciousness is I have many, many friends and clients who are saying they're having really strange dreams. So if that's you, it's not that you're having all this bad energy around you. It's simply that the universe, your guides are bringing up things that it's time for you to try and release, however that's going to work for you. And so journaling about it, writing those things down and not being afraid of it might give you some insight on things you can do. And then the last thing that seems to happen right now is we're a little bit stuck. Electronics aren't working very well. I, in particular, because of my energy field, have problems with electronics. So I crashed my computer this week. It did a full reboot, and which I needed to do. And then it didn't crash it. It's still working, but all my files went away. But I have backup. So it reminded me that maybe I have to have 2 backups. And I got my computer back and it's all working fine. But it was pretty unusual that I should have everything on my whole computer wiped out. And so if you're having problems, I have other friends that are trying to fix credit cards or fix some things because they're traveling, and they call into the company and they get hung up on, so they can't finish, or they go to the website to work and their account doesn't show up anymore. So just do your best. This is going to pass. But while we're in it, it might feel very disconcerting, and you might feel like you're the only one this is happening to, and you're not. This is a universal thing for everybody. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to ask Pam how it's been for her, because that's me, and I do energy work, and I'm a medical intuitive and work with the paranormal and psychic medium. So it affects me in sometimes unique ways. But what's been going on with you, Pam?
Yeah, you know what? That's funny that you asked that, Jane, because the same kind of thing. I mean, dreams, and I should journal about them now that we're talking. Now that I hear you mentioning that, I'm going to. And I think that's a great suggestion, because you can do people can contact you and you can do a clearing, like if somebody is having issues with even a particular object, right? Like a computer or finances or something like that, then you can go in and do a clearing and things generally improve after that.
Yeah, I had to, because I kept getting hit. I actually cleared my computer and my cell phone and myself, and I've had to do it multiple times. Mm-hmm. Not that I'm being under attack. I thought that at first by energies because of what I do, but more that there's just a lot floating around, and some of us are magnets.
Right.
So right. I'm a magnet for energies, ghost type energies that need to go home. And so I finally, after a little bit, figured out a protocol that I could put in place energetically that maybe would allow them to just go through me and home, as opposed to just gathering until I noticed I was collecting a bunch of folks again, and right. I had to help them out. It seems to be working. I finally figured that out yesterday, but journaling, I encourage people to journal about these things because it'll give you some insight. Mm-hmm. And yes, Pam's right. One of the things I do is when people are stuck energetically, or they have some things going on that they can't get past, sometimes just one session with me will allow it to be unstuck. Mm-hmm. But I don't want people to feel like you always have to go outside of yourself to get help. One of the things that I really like to encourage people is to sit down and kind of get some ideas for yourself. And the journaling thing is one way. And then if you're really, really stuck with an aspect, then maybe somebody like me would be a good resource for you, because I work very hard on removing traumas from people, triggers where you're fine, and then the situation or something somebody says, and all of a sudden I call it off to the races. Your head's going crazy, and that other person's wrong, and what were they doing, or whatever, or you feel it reminds you of something way in the past that you thought you'd gone past and you haven't. So I play in that, and you can, and on my website, janecphillips.com, I have 2 separate websites. One's for the paranormal work I do, and one is for the medical, intuitive, and kind of psychic work I do. And so you can find out more about me at those, at the janecphillips.com landing page, and read some of my blogs. And my goal every week with this blog is to tell you some interesting stories. Maybe I'm not an astrologer, but maybe give you some information about what I'm experiencing and my clients are experiencing, so you don't feel like you're so isolated. If you're one of those people that's really having a tough time with all of this, you're not alone. And things are going to get better. We're going to have breaks. I think this year there's going to be a lot of stuff that comes up that we get to deal with. But we'll get some breaks and some fresh air and around it. And so I encourage you to stay present. If things aren't working that day, don't try and push it. I got my computer back yesterday, and I had to drive to the computer place 3 times.
Oh, wow.
7 miles away before I got everything together. It wasn't ready, and then it was ready, and then I left a piece that I needed. So when I came back, I said, I don't think I'm going to work on my computer today. I'm not going to do anything. So allow yourself some space. If it feels like nothing's working, don't push the string, as I say.
Right.
Just give yourself some space and understand that things are going to calm down probably early next week. I'm seeing that it's still going to be bumpy because of the Washington, D.C. stuff for a bit.
Before we go offline, Jane, how do you feel so many people believe in saging? Like you burn sage and you run it over your checkbook or go around your house. How does that play in to what you do? Do you mind touching on that for a minute?
No, I don't. So saging, for people who don't know what that is, it's called smudging. And so, and you can smudge with sage, white sage, which is lighting a bundle of it. You can get at a store, or you can gather yourself and tie it up and hold a bowl underneath it so it doesn't drip ashes, and use the smoke around your house. And it will clear dark energies to some degree. I had a friend who wanted to clear the psychologist's office next to her. She said, because he doesn't ever clear it energetically, like most psychologists wouldn't know to do this. And we lit, she went into his office with some sage and we lit it behind his chair, and we were smoking behind his chair and it burst into flames. And so we both said, well, I think there was something here. So it can be really effective to sage. Where I play is with the heavier energies, ghost type energies, and all these other things. And I'll add to other ways to smudge. There's sweetgrass, there's Palo Santo, which is very hard wood from Peru that will raise the energy. But the other way, if you don't like smoke, you can always get like a singing bowl or something that you can put sound into a room, and that will also clear energy. So saging is a good idea. If you've got minor stuff, if something's really major, then somebody like me might be a better fit for you. And you can sage yourself too, if you think you've picked stuff up, if you don't mind smelling a little smoky. So I lost your audio.
Sorry. I said thank you. I had never asked you that question before, and that was really, I wanted to get your take on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I always want my friends and clients to have things that they can do for themselves. And then I'm the person that deals with the heavy lifting.
Right.
For you.
Got it.
So thanks for today, everybody. We'll be back next week at 10:30 Mountain Time. So adjust if you're watching at a different time zone.
All right. Thanks so much, Jane. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Pam. Thanks for hosting this.
Uh-huh. All right, you there?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that was good. How did you think that went?
That went fine.
Good. Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, much smoother than the first time. So,
we're fine. We have to figure it out, and we will. We are.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I'm going to go on, and I shared that on our New Mexico Out Business Alliance Facebook page, on my page, and on your page. So now I'm going to go on and do a couple of more shares and put some text with it, and change it up to
Yeah,
become complicated.
one of the things I would want to note is that it's the time zone.
Yes.
Because I have friends. My sister saw my last one and called. So
cool.
So to say 10:30 Mountain, or just say 10:30 Mountain, 12:30 Eastern, something like that, so that people, because I do have clients all over the country and actually all over the world.
Yeah.
And so if somebody wants to listen in, they can, if we at least let them know that's Mountain Time.
Right. Yep. I will redo that post and put that on there. Good point.
So, thanks so much. I love your glasses.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're welcome. And I will talk to you soon.
All right. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I have some social media questions.
Yeah.
They're not written down. I have no clue what they are, but they're going to come to me, and so I'm going to send you an email.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
About because I'm trying to do all this stuff with PLR, which is the
that course
private label rights company that gives me pre-done content. But
right.
There's some other things that I've run across. So, but I have to get my thoughts together because I have basically blown this week because my computer went out on Sunday, and I just got it back after 3 trips yesterday.
Wow. Yeah.
So I'm not as organized, but
okay. And even if you want to pick up the phone and call me, or you can text me and say, hey, what's a good time to chat, or whatever is
yeah,
easy.
I will. I got to get my thoughts together because in the middle of the night I go, oh yeah, these are the things I want to talk to Pam about.
Yeah, I do too. Like at 3 o'clock in the morning, they come, and then I keep a pad by my bedside table so I can write them down.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start doing that because a lot's happening in the middle of the night nowadays.
Yeah.
But
mm-hmm.
So, and I'm hoping that things settle down in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. Yeah. We need that, right? Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking we're going to lose our POTUS sooner than the 20th. I think he's going to be. I think Pence is. I'm hoping that Pence will be put in charge because somebody needs, a straitjacket. So
yeah. I agree.
Okay, with that upbeat comment. Thank you so much for hosting this, and make sure you bill me.
Okay, yes, I will. I'm going to do it in February. I'll bill you for what we did in January because.
Oh, you're doing it behind. I thought you were doing it in advance.
Yeah, I thought I would do it. Just.
Okay, as long as I know, because I'm working on keeping on top of everything and generating all the income I need to keep this moving. So.
Okay.
As long as I know what your thinking is, so I don't want you to forget.
Yes, no, that was my plan because I thought, well, if something happens, then I don't know. I mean,
right. So if we can't do something, you might want to adjust. I get that.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I will talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Pam.
Thank you, Jane.
Bye.
Bye.